I first dropped acid when I was 18. I was over at these people's house one night. This guy I went to school with was over there and asked me if I wanted to try some acid. I had read about it in the newspapers and heard a few friends talk about it, so I was curious. I was pretty jacked up on marijuana, so I decided to try it, and I dropped it. I don't know what I was waiting for, a flash or a rush or whatever, but I kept sitting there waiting, and nothing was happening. So I got up and then went to the dresser and put on a pair of pink capris and a green and brown blouse. I thought the colors were beautiful. He said no. And he started telling me that I couldn't eat him. That he had a wife and 7 kids at home to support. And I stood there with this hot dog and asked Terry, "Do you know this hot dog is talking to me?" And he says, "Nah, let's get out of here." He thought I was just faking. And I told him, "Look at the thing. He's got a face. And he's screaming." And the guy finally looked over and he got on the same trip that I was on. And we sat there carrying on a conversation with that hot dog. Finally, I decided I was just hallucinating, so I put it in my mouth and bit down. It screamed so loud that you could hear it all over town, so I had to throw it on the ground and step on it. And I was jumping on this hot dog in the middle of Market Street. That I had murdered it. And I took off screaming down the street, scared.
Marijuana is the bomb.
Hell yeah!
Marijuana is a narcotic, medically and legally. It never did anybody any good and does everybody a lot of harm.
Well, make up your mind. Drop your acid, people. It's time for the Opie and Navy show. Right.
Okay, terrific.
That's right. Hey, man, save me a punk. Drop your acid. Drink, drink, drink. That was a good impression. Drink, drink, drink. And welcome to the Opie and Anthony show.
I was very hungry, and I put mustard, ketchup, and relish as usual. The hot dog had a face.
That is some strung-out bitch. That's some good ass. Yeah. Couple phone numbers in the New York City area, Anthony. 877-692-1027. Anywhere outside of New York City, including Anthony. Yes. Got to do it again. Buffalo, New York. Hello. I say Buffalo because they represented the Opie and Anthony show big time on WWF last night on Raw. Yes. Wow signs all over the place. Great. As they were trying to do their little TV show. So for Buffalo and anyone else outside of the New York area, 866-277-4WOW. That's 866-277-4WOW.
If I was a hot dog, I sure wouldn't want to be in the hands of that
strung out bitch. She bit my head off and threw me on the ground. Hi. That was a poor hot dog. How could you not feel bad for a hot dog like that? Probably bit right in and broke his big glass. I love it.
That was hilarious. That was an educational film, kids.
Yeah, we love him.
Don't do LSD.
See what happens? Jumping up and down on a hot dog. She said she was jumping up and down on a hot dog in the middle of Market Street. Wow.
Well, yeah.
Whatever gets you off there, honey.
We were show prepping today for the Opie and Anthony show, and we came across some educational films. That one was on LSD.
Very funny.
We will be playing some others as the week goes by here.
Drug ones are great.
The drug ones are hilarious.
The pot one.
Barbiturates.
One guy, the drug dealer looked like Tom Hanks after he was stuck on the island for a little while. He had the big beard going. And the other guy was the blonde-haired guy from Emergency. As a kid.
Was the young, innocent lad.
Yeah, he was the lad that they corrupted with their drugs.
That took a turn somewhere for the worse.
For the worse.
Had some hot chick, flirting with him.
Yeah, but
trying to get him hooked on H.
Because she was in cahoots with the guy. Like the plot line was the Tom Hanks with the beard guy was trying to turn on all the innocent kids.
All the squares.
All the squares. Take a trip from Squaresville. That's what he said.
Right.
Take a trip from Squaresville. You'll be gone, and far out.
Right.
Like, the talk is fantastic.
But the square kid's like, hey, man, I have more fish to hook.
Yeah, more fish to hook.
He can't be bothered with the drug scene.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he turned, man.
Take a high ride to Kicksville. That's what he said.
Know what I learned?
Kicksville. I want to go to Kicksville.
Know what I learned during that educational film about marijuana, Anthony? Or that was the one on H?
That was on LSD.
That was the LSD one as well?
That was
LSD. The good drugs are in the garage.
In the garage. That's when they went to the garage, where they could hide away from grown-ups and authority figures and do their drugs and get strung out and high, far gone.
But they were doing the drugs in the regular playroom there.
They were drinking.
It was a typical house party, weren't they?
Just drinking.
They weren't smoking a little...
No, they were drinking beers. And the guy from Emergency was making out with the hot slut chick that was in cahoots with the dealer.
Mrs. Robinson.
Kissing.
She was a little older.
She was a little older. But they're kissing on the couch, and that's when she gained his trust.
Right.
If he could only see the needle marks on her arm or her police record, he'd know to get far, far away from this scene.
That's what they were saying. It was great. So they talked him into going in the garage for the good stuff.
Yeah, and then he went to the garage, and that's when he caved into peer pressure and took a trip to Kicksville. Kicksville? Isn't that out on Long Island? Right? That's by Mineola or something? Where is Kicksville?
Hicksville.
Oh, Hicksville. I'm sorry. Take a trip to Hicksville on the LIRR. It was great. We were laughing our balls off. And then the one we were really screwing up. We had Mary and we had other girls like watching. Lee was in there watching too.
Yeah.
And it was on a chick's first period.
Yeah.
How funny, man. This chick is like...
They were talking about menstruation.
She was like 12 years old, and her other friend was 12, but she was more mature.
Right.
Your friend is more mature than you. You might not get your time for another year or two.
And then they said later that summer, and you see the same 12-year-old girl, she's sitting in the chair. She goes, Mother, I have something to tell you. And the mother just looks at her and goes, You're menstruating. You're menstruating. She goes, How did you know? And we're all making jokes, because the couch was white when you sat on it. She's sitting on a red couch. Because the cat's licking at it.
Dude, this tape was hilarious.
Very funny. And then the mother gives a demonstration of how to put on the wackiest contraption for a pad I've ever seen.
Let's be careful so they don't dump out the feminine product there.
It's Modest feminine napkins.
Boy, they were a lot different back in 1958.
Too damn funny.
But she gives the box to the daughter, and it was like as big as a Nike box.
It was like a Nike box.
It was like a Nike sneaker box, and I think there was one in there.
There was one pad. She brings it out, and she goes, and here's the belt. And she picks up this belt. She goes, you wear it under your panties. and she shows how to put the pad on the belt. The short end, like it's like you're doing mechanics on a truck. The short end, and she is attaching the short flap end
And then there's the big, thick, absorbent pad. And then there's another flap end that's a long end. Right. And she's putting it in this thing that looks like a paper clip hanging from the front of the thing. And then she puts the long end to the back.
Know what it looked like when the mom had the contraption all figured out?
And then she holds it up.
It looked like a porch swing.
Yeah. It did. She picks it up, and it was gently swinging the pad back and forth. And she goes, won't it leak? No. The mother goes, no, it's made of absorbent material. You change it every 3 or 4 hours throughout the day. It was the best.
It was hilarious.
The best.
Well, we're going to get more audio from these tapes.
Yeah. They're so much fun.
Oh, my God.
We were dying. Now the boys can learn to earn their Red Wings at school. Now I'll tell you about crime scene sex.
Oh, the syphilis Italian guy. Oh, it's the most racist film I've ever seen. There's this Italian guy who works at a bakery, I guess. Why not? And his name is on the front of the store. You know, Enzo or whatever the hell it was. And he gets out and he paints N's son on the bottom of the window because he's having a little bambino, as he said.
A little boy.
And he paints N's son, S-U-N. And there's people scratching their heads going, you spell son with an O. With an O? Really? Like this dumb Guinea, this right off the boat, ignorant Guinea immigrant. And he's all excited because the doctor comes over to deliver the baby in the bakery. So he goes in the back room, and Enzo, whatever his name is, he's waiting, playing the accordion. He's all happy. Ring, ding, 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 ding. He's playing his Italian music. The doctor comes out. First thing he does, lights up his cigarette, and his head is hanging. He's all depressed. Oh, boy. And the Italian guy's like, what's the matter? Is my Elizabeth okay? Is my bambino okay? Your baby's dead.
It was born dead.
It was born dead. It had syphilis. You and your wife have syphilis. Your baby died of syphilis. And then the Italian guy goes lunging for a bread knife to stab himself with it. With medical advancements today, we can cure syphilis. You must come down to the hospital with your wife, and you'll be able to have all the healthy, fine bambinos you want. Great, great old politically incorrect drivel. I love it.
Rick, could you get more audio? Yeah, we could. I mean, I know you're working on Ecstasy Dad.
Yeah, Ecstasy Dad's got some great clips.
But that whole scene with the garage and the lady trying to get the guy from Emergency hooked is hilarious.
All you need is some of the narrators.
The rap right in the beginning when the drug dealer comes to the groovy car.
When he says, take our ride to Kicksville. Yeah, the groovy guy comes to the car to try to turn him on. He goes, he's been away from town, but he's back. Little does anyone know he was in prison. And the guy's like, looks like Tom Hanks with the beard.
And back then they blamed it on the parents as well.
Yeah, they did. The parents, because the kid went home because he had to study, and he went home to actually talk to his dad about certain things. But the parents weren't there. They left him a note.
They weren't there for him.
So and they said the parents weren't there for him. So he went to the party and had a good time. He wasn't going to be a square. He drank the alcohol and danced the night away. Then went to the garage.
Besides, you can't get hooked doing it one time.
Yeah, that's what you got. Sure, you won't get hooked doing it one time, but I am Rock Quarry.
That's exactly
that's what they sound like. It's probably the same guy that did the voice. I mean, it sounds like him. Well, the film's hosted by Troy McClure. Yeah, that's the voice, dude. That's absolutely what they sounded like. Some great stuff.
Let's go to Andrew. Hey, Andrew. Andrew.
Hey, I'm sorry. I was eating something.
Oh, that's all right. What's up?
Was it a hot dog with a face?
Hey, remember in grammar school when the cops would come to the auditorium and they'd show you all the drugs? They'd pull them out of a bag. That wanted you to do drugs after that.
Yeah.
They'd tell you, like, what everything did. This one will make you, fast. This one will make you, like, dopey, like, you're drunk. It was great.
Yeah, oh, yeah. They actually brought a little briefcase to school.
They thought they were doing a good thing, but it was a commercial. Like, hey, if you want to be a little slower, a little faster, try this, try that. Want to forget about your parents for a while? Try this.
Great stuff.
Cool. All right, Andrew.
Take care.
Bye. And we learned barbiturates are more addicting than H.
Yes, more addicting than heroin. The kid's just sitting there talking about his experience with the barbs, the barbiturates. Because, sure, heroin's hard to kick with the nausea. What's this guy breathing so heavy for?
I don't know. Hey, Frank.
Yeah.
What's up, Frank?
Hey, You guys might have struck gold with this stuff. I was thinking back. This, the hot dog movie, when I heard it on the radio, I flipped out. I had a flashback, maybe 6th grade, I don't know, 5th grade. They showed that movie. And from that day on, I was that hot dog talks to the chick, and I remember, like, goes to the floor, there's mustard and ketchup on the floor.
Well, what it was...
runs out. Ever since I seen that, I couldn't wait to try that drug.
Yeah, didn't it seem like a pretty cool drug to try?
I was like, oh, my God.
Wait, there's something you can take that makes a hot dog come to life?
Oh. I mean, and I did. I was looking from that day on. I mean, I tried that before I even smoked weed.
Right. Isn't it great?
I wish I could find it today.
All right, Frank. Thank you.
Thanks. Good night. Bye.
The picture that they showed during that woman eating the hot dog was a little troll doll in a bun.
Yeah.
And it had a face. I threw it to the ground and jumped on a hot dog in the middle of Market Street.
I named him George Glass.
George Glass.
That's what the voice was, right?
It's George Glass. Right. I bit his head off.
Jenny, what's going on?
Hey, hey.
What up?
What up, man? Listen, if you think that stuff was weird from your end watching the movie, you should have been witnessing that stuff. I did. It was very weird.
You wore the porch swing?
Oh, baby. I mean, it was like having a diaper on.
Really?
And here I am, 11 years old now. When you were 11 years old, you were still trying to learn how to throw the baseball over the top of your house, mother, or your friend. And I'm like, Mom, what is this? And, like people's out to conception.
Oh, Jenny,
your phone is really bad.
Call back if you get a better line.
Yeah, it's the old gear they used to have to wear, Opie. Big belt and harnesses and clips and
tape.
You're clipping things on. It's just
pulling things through loops.
Through the paper clip-like loops to hold it. The short end and the long end.
You know what? Someone's got to start taping what goes on in that back office, because the comments we were making...
Yeah, we were having a lot of fun back there today, that's for sure.
The chick was having the mother-daughter, talking.
Oh, discussion.
And she was all bummed because she was starting to menstruate.
Menstruation.
And we were, like, doing the dialogue of what the mom should say to the daughter.
This is when you're going to learn to give hummers.
Don't worry, Susie.
During this time,
right.
That's why sometimes it's called a period. That's what she was saying. Because it's at a certain time every month. And then the girls are at the pool, and one girl comes up and she goes, "Oh, you're talking about the curse." And the girl's like, "Don't call it the curse. The curse, or when we feel bad."
Oh, man. Curse. Frank, what's going on?
What's up, guys?
Hey.
Hey, why does your narrator voice sound like Bob Murphy doing a Met game?
No, Bob Murphy's like this.
Well, he was like a young Bob Murphy.
Very clack nose. It says things like a high fly ball deep to center field. That one easily caught to end the inning. Oh, wait, it's a home run?
we gotta play the clip now. Can we get that clip?
Deep Agbayani going back. He's gone. A home run. Oh, wait, he caught it?
All right, guys, take it easy.
Clueless. All right, Frank. We got to get the Kicksville line. Got to.
Kicksville.
Tim, what's up?
Yeah, listen, guys, I took a look at the map.
Yeah?
And Kicksville is right next to Baja, California.
Can you get tortillas there?
Absolutely. If you take enough acid, you can get anything you want.
Well, they dodge you.
All right, Tim, thank you.
Take care, guys.
All right, here's Bob Murphy screwing up a call, Anthony.
Yeah, let's listen.
The Mets announcer.
The pitch. High fly ball. It keeps the left center field. It's way back. It may be playable. Agbayani can't get a play. It's gone. A home run. Oh, he caught it. He caught it at the wall. I was sure he was unable to reach it. It's caught by Agbayani, and I apologize. He was way out there, and it didn't look like he had a play on it, but he caught it against the wall in left center field.
That just tells me he can't see.
No, he can't.
Mr. Magoo.
That one, a high fly ball deep to center field. It looks like, yes, he caught it. At the end of the inning, we can now go. Oh, wait, the lawnmowers are out there? The game isn't started yet. Wait, I'm in my backyard?
Guy can't see. My day off.
What happened?
Yeah. Mike, what's going on?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Mikey.
Hey, I got, if you think those are pretty silly videos, the healthy ones, try watching a Navy video.
Oh, yeah, I got some Navy ones from the 60s and 70s.
Oh, yeah, well, this one that I'm thinking of was called The First 72 Hours, like, kind of like a day in the life of a new recruit reporting on board a ship.
Yeah.
And, like, there's like first they show like that no one is waiting for him at the quarterdeck, and he gets into the wrong crowd and he goes out drinking all night. Then he winds up going to Captain Mess and gets kicked out of the Navy at the end.
He gets kicked out?
Yeah, he gets kicked out because of drinking, and he's doing drugs in the whole bit. So, but just like the whole narration, it's just like, oh my God, and me and the guys are just like cracking up, laughing, doing our own little comments and stuff too.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're forced into a Mystery Science Theater 3000 kind of thing when you're watching these at your buds, because it's just too funny. You got to goof on it.
Oh, it's hysterical. It's hysterical. That's the only way to pass the time with some of these pathetic videos.
Yes.
It's great, guys, to hear you, and keep up the great job.
Thanks, Mike.
No problem. Take care, guys.
Just keep your fingers crossed, because rumor has it we're going country.
John from D.C. brought up that SNL commercial parody. Have you seen it?
No.
It's called Kotex Classics, and they do a whole thing on them bringing back the belts and the pants. And the girls are wearing these tight, slinky dresses, and you just see these big bulges of the pad. The belt, you know how girls wear their thongs kind of pulled out of the top of their pants? Yeah. The big white belt is coming out of the top. It's hysterical. It was one of the funniest SNL commercial parodies I've ever seen.
Classic.
Really good.
Sully and the gang, Godsmack, I Stand Alone. We're back with the Opie and Anthony Show. Oi! Talking about those educational films we all saw growing up.
Sex, drugs, safety, venereal disease, all kinds of fun stuff. And you know what it reminds me of, too? Remember, when we first started talking about this, I can't even remember, I think right when we came to New York, and Opie brought up the fact that when he watched one of these films as he was a kid, what did he do? He ran home and climbed up a tree and wouldn't come down.
The apple tree in the front yard.
Yeah. You were so embarrassed by the content of the sex film.
Well, you know, it was the famous scene in, I guess, 6th grade. Grammar school is about when it goes down. And they separated the boys and the girls. You knew something was up.
Yep.
Because you're not stupid. You know someone is going to eventually explain what the F is going on, you know?
Maybe there's hair growing on your body where there was no hair before. You're getting urges.
Exactly. So they're talking about how your thing is going to be functioning differently and you're going to be growing stuff.
These are from hormones that are being pumped from certain glands. In the male, the testes pump out testosterone. In the female, it's the ovaries pumping out their hormones.
So, you know, I'm digging the film. I'm like, all right, I can handle this. You know, they're explaining why you get acne and how you're going to have to start shaving and all this stuff. And then
hygiene, very important at this time.
Matter of fact, know what it was? And it was Washington Drive School in Centerport. And they put us in the gym. Big folding door.
Oh, yeah.
To split the gym in half. Girls on one side, boys on the other.
When you'd hear that motor fire up to close that big door.
Right.
Like lockdown.
And at the end of the film, they turn the gym lights back on or whatever, and the teacher pretty much tells the entire gym that your parents have been informed that you may have questions about the film you just saw.
Oh, no.
So now I'm thinking, I'm not going home and having my dad talk about sex with me.
Yeah.
I just don't want to deal with that yet.
Very scary.
So I ran home from Washington Drive School and proceeded to climb the apple tree, Anthony, and I would not come down for dinner.
You wouldn't come down for dinner because you were afraid?
And my dad comes out to try to talk to me from the base of the apple tree, and I'm way up high. And I'm like, Dad, I am not coming down so you could talk about Mom's boobs.
You were afraid?
No.
To talk about sex with your parents? Well, that's fine.
I'd rather learn it from the streets.
Right. Where it's supposed to be learned.
Yes.
Now, I remember years ago, man, Pee Wee Herman played a clip of one of those films on that HBO special he did, which was pretty much the prototype show for Pee Wee's Playhouse. And it showed the kid with hygiene brushing his hair in the bathroom and being polite in the cafeteria. I've always thought these things were great.
Right. Well, we got a bunch of health teachers checking in. Kathleen, what's going on?
Hi, how are you guys? I'm a really big fan.
Oh, thanks, Kathleen, the health teacher.
Yeah, well, I had a kid the other day just freak out totally on the whole subject of menstruation and getting the period, and he was like, you mean these? He could not handle it. He had like 40 questions, and one was just louder and more panic-stricken than the next.
Well, blood, very scary. Very scary.
And the film we watched, they said that you ladies will only, see, I don't know what they're going to do. They're only going to flow a little bit.
Yeah, just a bit.
Just a little bit. I'm like, oh, yeah?
Well, they described it.
This kid, like, got up out of his chair, and he pointed in this girl's face, and he says, you mean she could be bleeding from that area right now? And the whole class fell apart, and it was just unbelievable. I was like, listen, you have to come and see me or one of the other health teachers after class, because we'll get your questions answered, but
right after you show that film, you should have a seminar on Hummers for all the young ladies.
Right, how they could maybe please their man during this hard time.
Right.
Well, this is only junior high school. Maybe when they get to high school, they could learn that.
We're going to get through this. We're going to keep your chin up. Keep your chin up. We're going to turn this thing around.
We're going to turn this thing around.
All right, Kathleen, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
All right.
I like how the mother was describing it to the daughter when she said, your womb makes a warm, comfortable place for a baby to grow. And if this isn't used, it has to be removed from the body, or it leaves the body.
Yeah.
This is your period.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's scary.
They try to make it sound like it's not. It's okay.
A warm,
Everyone's
comfortable place. It sounds like she's going to be expelling a den.
Right.
You know? Please.
Let's go to Maggie May.
Hello.
Wake up, Maggie May.
I'm up. Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Wah, wah. I know.
Hi, guys.
Yes, we can hear you.
I wore
it's
the
late
porch
September,
swing.
and I really
want
should be
you to
back
know.
at school. What?
I used to wear the porch swing.
You did?
And what they didn't tell the 11-year-old little girl is that she should cut down her pubes because it used to pinch us. It was, in fact, like a paper clip, and your pubic hairs would get caught inside of it, and you'd be sitting in class, and it's pinching and pulling, and you're sitting there in a class. And it was horrible. It was just horrible.
I think you're absolutely right, because back then they didn't really...
They were into the 70s Earth Mama muffs.
The big 70s.
It was an elastic band.
Yeah.
With 2 giant paper clips, but the paper clips had teeth and would bite you.
Ah, man, teeth! I thought only the hot dog bit.
Yeah, the hot dog.
All right, Maggie May, thank you.
Wow, imagine that a girl just sits down and goes, ow, and you knew. You knew.
People picking up on the porch swing reference. I like that.
It looked like a porch swing.
James, what's going on?
Hey, O&A, what's going on, man?
Hey, bro.
Yeah, we were in the auditorium gym. We were like 6th or 7th grade. We found a box of this stuff.
Yeah.
We didn't know what it was. We're looking at it. So one of the guys was pretty smart. He puts it on his head. We took the adhesive. We glued a bunch of the pads on it like a mohawk. So each of us followed. There was like 5 of us running around the gym with these maxi pad mohawks on.
Trying to look cool, yeah. No clothes.
See,
I went to Catholic school, so it was worse. The nun comes in. She's like, get those off your head.
That's funny.
Even those were the newer ones with the adhesive.
Can I say something else?
Yeah.
He made me get the syphilis, and a man in my position cannot afford to be made to get the syphilis.
Syphilis. Very good.
Over and out.
You look ridiculous.
And the Pee Wee Herman film was, people are writing in, Mr. Bungle.
Oh, okay.
Don't be a Mr. Bungle. They had a kid sitting down, and he didn't let the girl sit down first. You know, no manners. He was talking with his mouth full, bad posture. He was a Mr. Bungle. Guess that's where the band got the name.
Nice. Susan, what's going on?
Hey, I was calling to let you know that the newest film...
Susan. Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Susan.
The newest film out, I'm a special ed teacher for the girls getting their period, is worse than the one years ago. I was laughing so hard in the back of the room I could hardly show it. They actually...
Hold hold on, because I don't know what they're going to dump out of, so let's just get rid of that word for now and just say the lady's time or whatever, okay?
Cycle.
All right, so you got the latest film?
What they did, in the latest film, they do a sleepover, and the girl, has it happen the next morning. The mom's explaining it to her.
Yeah.
And she shows her in pancake batter. She takes the pancake batter and goes, and these are your... and shows the whole diagram in pancake batter.
These are your, what, like ovaries?
Yeah. And these are the fallopian tubes that makes this whole pancake batter thing.
What, was she putting it on a griddle?
Yeah.
That she just, she pours like the pancake crap on the counter and makes a diagram?
I like mine with syrup. Like she was cooking.
It was even worse because I was 7 months pregnant when I had to give this class, so the kids are asking questions, had met my husband.
Oh, wow.
And they started asking real specific questions.
Yeah, like how big is it and stuff, right?
Yeah, it got a little too weird for me. I was like, all right, name's out of here.
That's classic. All right.
Yeah, but the new film is even scarier than the old one.
Well, send all your films into the Opie and Anthony show.
I want to see some of the new ones.
We have been talking about this subject for many years on our show, and now it's time to play a lot more of these things.
Right.
We've played some in the past, but I'm hearing there's one that the Navy has been showing how to stay away from the homos.
Yeah, you don't want to be a homo in the Navy.
My husband's Air Force, and the ones in the Air Force are even scarier.
There's an anti-homo Navy one from, I guess, the 60s.
Cool. All right, Susan, thank you.
You guys are great from D.C.
We're trying. We're going to be down there a week from Friday.
All right, we're here.
All right, and a week from Thursday in Philly. We're doing a little road trip.
I also got some that I got to bring in concerning atomic safety. Which are really funny. Duck and cover. Good boy, Jimmy.
Yeah,
he's riding his bike. This is hysterical. He's riding his bike on the side of the road, and all of a sudden, this huge flash. And Billy, jumps off his bike. Jimmy jumps off his bike, and they get right in where the curb meets the road.
Yeah.
In the gutter, and they duck and cover up their heads. Good boy.
And that's supposed to protect them.
That's going to save their asses. That's going to save them
from a nuclear fallout. That's good. Seth, you're next on the Opie and Anthony show. What's up?
How you doing today?
All right, man.
Great show. I'm listening for a few years now. Love it.
Thank you.
I was in elementary school, Sunrise Drive Elementary School, and the Long Island Railroad came to our school. I know this is not like the health videos or whatnot, but they wanted to scare us from not playing on the third rail or not playing on the tracks when the trains would come.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever saw that. You guys grew up on Long Island.
Of course.
And they did one scene where all of us are like in 6th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade. We're all sitting there. The guy gets up and he goes, "My name is Gino Montana, and I'm from the Long Island Railroad. And this is what happens when you play on the tracks, unsupervised." And they showed a picture of a kid standing in front of one of those old Long Island Railroad trains.
Yeah.
And all these kids are screaming and crying, "No, don't let it happen." Next thing you know, they show another slide of guts. And it's like cow guts. But we don't know. We're in 6th grade.
Oh, right. They're trying to scare you, yeah.
Crying and screaming and whatnot. And, well, now I can't go on trains anymore. So, hey, what the hell?
All right. Thank you, Seth.
Well, here's, speaking of train safety, there's Samantha from Philly. Has a cute little story. This sounds like a great Twilight Zone episode. But it was a train safety movie. They show one kid throwing a rock at a passing train. One walking the tracks, gets her foot caught in the rails. One gets his kite stuck in the electrical lines by the tracks and climbs up to get it and was on his bike and tried to beat the train. Of course, they're all killed. Then they're forced for the rest of eternity to sit on this train and ride this, hell train together. There's one kid that was with the kid with the kite, and he didn't die, but he's forced to go on the train to see what happens to kids that do stupid things on the train. And then at the end, the kids on the train, on the hell train, yell at this kid to get off the train and warn the other children what it's like if you do something concerning a train and die. So they tell him to get off the hell train, and he goes and runs and tells his friends how awful it is if you die in one of these train things. But that's horrific. That's some little hell children for eternity riding the train.
Man.
Scary. I love them.
Oh, wait. Mike saw the atomic safety film. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, guys, I saw the atomic safety film.
Yeah.
They tell you to run away from the flash when you see one.
Yeah, you could outrun a flash from a nuclear blast.
Away from the flash.
Nice.
Good boy, Jimmy.
Good boy.
All right, guys, I'm going to listen to Anthony call me a tool on the radio.
We might not, though.
No, now you're going to be waiting and waiting because I won't say it.
Oh, okay. Let's go to D.C. Eileen, what's up?
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to say I saw the Kotex Classic Saturday Night Live skit too. It was just like my junior high. Those things used to slip out of the belt, and you'd see girls walk around with those things sticking up out of their pants.
Oh, I feel bad.
How embarrassing.
At least they figure that out, huh?
Yeah, you'd think so, but man, they would ride up, and you'd see these girls with like tails like deer.
I would say the tampon, probably like deer, like a white-tailed deer. The tampon, probably one of the greatest inventions of the 20th century. Would you say?
Yeah, definitely.
I would.
Yeah.
Especially that OB with no applicator, Opie. Designed by a woman gynecologist.
The comments we were coming up with, man, because this film was from 1953, I believe.
Yeah.
So I go to, and it was a whole educational film on menstruation, and I go to Aunt, you know what all these ladies have in common today?
Uh-huh.
They don't have to worry about menstruation anymore.
Because, yeah, they're all old women now.
We were just idiots.
And the old school teachers talking about this in some of the films.
Eileen, I got to cut you off because Rick has found 4 more clips from the educational films we were watching
Which
today.
ones are these from, Rick? Is it the drug one?
Wait, explain, because we get a whole new audience every 15 minutes.
This was a little film about drugs and how you shouldn't get involved with the drug scene. And it was made, it looks to be in the, I guess, 50s.
That was 58.
58. The blonde-haired guy from Emergency, remember him? He was a kid. He played the kid in this. Let me see, Rick. Number 3. Yeah. Narcotics, Pit of Despair.
Pit of Despair.
So he goes to one of these groovy parties to get high and far out. Not be a square, because that's the last thing you want to be. And he goes to this party, and he's coaxed, Opie, into partying and drinking. And he meets this girl at the party, but he doesn't know the girl's in cahoots with the drug dealer guy.
And she's a heroin addict.
Right. And she gets him on the booze, and they're kissing. And then she invites him to go to where it all happens.
The garage.
The garage, Opie. It's where they are all huddled around in the garage smoking reefer and doing bennies, Dexies, and other drugs.
Reds.
Goofballs.
Barbiturates.
I'd want to do goofballs. That sounds fun.
Know how many people emailed
Roy DeSoto's his name.
Know how many people emailed us saying, what the F is a barbiturate?
Barbs, man. That's, well, now they go by brand names. Barbiturates are nothing but, downs. Ludes, Vicodins, things like that now would be your barbs. And amphetamines are your ups, your uppers.
All right, Ann, relax.
Uppers, downers, bennies, Dexy, meth.
So here's a clip from that film.
To John, it seems perfectly natural and innocent to bump into an old classmate. He hasn't seen Pete since he dropped out of school last year. From the looks of him, he seems to be doing well on his out-of-town selling job.
Out-of-town selling job. The guy looked like Tom Hanks from Castaway when he had the beard.
With the beard.
He looked like Tom Hanks. But he had this big beard, and he's kind of, scary looking.
It's just an old friend that he bumped into.
And he'd been out of town on a selling job.
Yeah, he's doing well for himself.
The music's classic.
What John doesn't know is the selling job is pushing dope. And the long absence from town was spent in the state prison. Their accidental meeting calls for a little celebration.
Yes.
And Pete has just the thing. There's a little private party going on tonight. Plenty of fun and laughs. Take a break from the books and live a little.
Yeah.
It sounds good, but today's his father's day off, and John needs his help with some school problems. If there's another party sometime, maybe he can make it then. But Pete isn't interested in sometime, maybe, or squares. If you want to swing, call him. Right now, he's got to split. He's got to find fish ready to be hooked. Victims to supply him with money for the heroin he needs today and tomorrow and tomorrow.
He goes and speeds off in his roadster. Sure.
He doesn't have time for squares.
Fish to get hooked. It's like, as a kid growing up and seeing some movies that were very similar to this one.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be impossible to avoid drugs. I really thought it happened like this. Like they roped you in. I never thought it was like it really is. You're walking in school, maybe someone you know or your friend or something goes, dude, you smoking a joint? I'm like, nah.
Or, okay, whatever it is. It wasn't this big plan.
You had more of a choice when it came down to it.
Yeah, it wasn't like, I have to hook this fish.
Right.
Like this poor guy is setting this up like he's setting up a crime worth billions of dollars.
Like they're going to tie him down and force feed him.
Like they're kidnapping an executive's son or something. You know, just ask him, does he want dope?
Right.
The guy could have sold it to him right there. He does it, you sell it to him. He doesn't, you go, all right, well, come to the party.
And we got some audio from the party.
Oh, the groovy bash.
Yeah. John, the party is swinging. Just the thing he needs to pep him up. The stage is set. The principal players are in position. The curtain is up. But he has just been cast as the star fall guy in a real-life tragedy.
That's great. That is classic.
So there's a whole scene. There's the chick, the drug dealer, and some dude, right?
Dude, this party is set up for the benefit, because all I could see was he was the only square and new fish that was at the party. All the rest of them are doing the drugs and everything else. So this whole party was choreographed just to get him hooked on dope.
Yeah, that's how it happened.
Exactly. That's exactly how it happened.
More from the party? All right.
Yeah.
The exertion of the dance, the excitement of Helen, and several beers have taken effect. Inhibition and caution are forgotten. When Helen suggests they have a few more beers, he's all for it. Why not? Everyone else is doing it. To refuse would be square, and that must be avoided at all costs. Besides, he's never been high on it before, and he never will. He can handle the stuff.
Sure. Of course. He can handle the stuff. He's never been high.
Which one is this? Oh, Squaresville. All right. They go to the garage.
The next step is the garage.
Yeah.
There, some of the gang are really blasted. That's where the real action is.
Yeah.
Come on and take a look. Oh, take a trip from Squaresville. Live a little and see what it's like for yourself. The senses are dulled just enough to be reckless. Helen, the music, the beer, the promise of excitement press in on him.
And oral fingers.
Now, curiosity has to be satisfied. And why not? It can't do any harm to look.
Of course it can't. But you know, it does. Because he turns on, doesn't he? He turns on.
He gets hooked.
He gets groovy and high.
He's no longer a square.
No, he's with it. The music is classic, isn't it?
Soon he'll be dropping out of college.
Right.
And teaming up with another guy to do a radio show. Hey, Rick, you got to go get more clips. This has got to be an underlying, thing that kind of weaves its way through the show today.
Where's Kicksville?
Yeah, what happened to Kicksville?
Was it?
Oh, we heard Kicksville? All right. Get the clips from the menstruation.
Yeah. I want to hear her talking about
the porch swing.
The porch swing, the description of how to put it on. And then when she walks in the house and her daughter is having it, and she goes, Mom, I have something to tell you.
You're menstruating.
I want that as a clip on my machine here. That way, if a girl calls and starts being bitchy, I can hit the button.
You're menstruating. All right, well, the phones have exploded today.
Oh, yeah, people have Tommy here. We got to get to him. He saw the Beware of Homos Navy tape. So maybe he can enlighten us on that.
And line 2, Mike, O&A ever see Testicles in You?
Testicles in You.
Classic. Oh, we're going to have fun today. Also,
Stepping Off the Curb video in 4th grade. I saw Hamburger on the Highway, which was a good one.
Yeah.
That was safety film about driving when you're first getting your license. They show you clips of burnt up people. I remember the one that impacted me the most was an old pickup truck, and it was a guy that had hit something. The truck burst into flames, and he was drunk. They found out later he was drunk. But they open up this burnt up door, and you see his burnt, almost skeletal body leaning over the steering wheel. I was like, I'll never drink and drive. And then that night, I got a few beers with my friends and piled into the car.
The driver ed classes would show you the death pictures all the time.
Oh, yeah. There would be jaws that were just removed from people that went through the windshield.
Yeah, all that crap.
Show you all that fun stuff. You're checking out the Opie and Anthony show today. Boy, we don't have to give out the phone numbers. Phones are slamming today. Yes. Nice. Russ, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, man? I got a Mr. Bungle clip for you.
Oh, you do? From the old Mr. Bungle film.
It's right off the CD. They have it right on there.
Really?
Do you want me to play it for you?
Yes.
All right. Here we go.
Just before lunch one day, a puppet show was put on at school. It was called Mr. Bungle Goes to Lunch. It was fun to watch. In the puppet show, Mr. Bungle came to the boys' room on his way to lunch. He looked at his hands. His hands were dirty, and his hair was messy. But Mr. Bungle didn't stop to wash his hands or comb his hair. He went right to lunch.
Of course he did.
Then, instead of getting into line at the lunchroom, Mr. Bungle pushed everyone aside and went right to the front.
Mr. A-hole, Mr. gonna get his ass kicked.
Even though this made the children laugh, no one thought that was a fair thing to do.
They're laughing at him, Opie.
Then, in the lunchroom, Mr. Bungle was so clumsy and impolite that he knocked over everything, and no one wanted to sit next to him. And when he finally knocked his own tray off the table, that was the end of the puppet show. The children knew that even though Mr. Bungle was funny to watch, he wouldn't be much fun to eat with.
He's gonna grow up to kill you and rape you.
Mr. Bungle wouldn't have many friends.
All right, Russ, this is giving me a headache.
All right, man.
Thank you, Russ. No, you cannot say another thing. We're on to you. Let's go to Tommy, who saw the Beware of Homo's Navy tape.
Yeah, I was in boot camp, 18 years old, and they showed this tape about immoral people.
Immoral?
That, you know, you're many months at sea with the same sex and don't fall into this trap. They just prey on you. And that these two guys, like, winking at each other. It scared the crap out of me.
Like the homos will try to get you?
Yeah, like, you know, just because you're all frustrated and you haven't been with a woman in months.
So don't let that get worked up into becoming a homo.
Oh, it scared. I was afraid to go to a ship.
So watch out for the guys that are winking.
And watch out for the guys that wear wizard hats and belong to Cats and Hats. Later, Mary.
All right. You better watch out or the homos will get you. The homos? That's what happens if you are on a ship too long without women. Mike, you're next on the Opie and Anthony show. What's up?
Yeah, that film they showed in Johnny Dangerously there, that Testicles and You.
Oh, that was fake, though.
Well, Mr. Yambag was working out and Betty Boop was shaking her little ass, and he exploded.
That was from Johnny Dangerously. Yeah, that your testicles can explode if don't take
He went back to law school.
You ass. Thank you. Thank you, Mike.
Bye.
I knew that was a fake one.
All right, we're going to get more clips, and we'll get that on the air in a little bit here, Anthony.
Yes.
Let's get to the clips. More clips, Anthony. More clips.
We love these. These are from the fabulous 50s and 60s, I guess. They're instructing children on things like drugs, sex, bodily functions, adolescence, puberty. Didn't you hate going through it just for the name of it?
Yes, the worst name.
I remember I freaked out when I was about 12, 11 or 12, and I ran to my mother and go, I think I have breast cancer. Why would you say that? Because my kneepies hurt. They hurt, and they were like getting like bumpy.
I've known you for 8 years. You've never told me that. You might have had breast cancer.
It just popped up. No, you know, I was a little hypochondriac. And
so what was the problem with your...
My mother just said...
sensitive knees.
And they were like getting hard and stuff. So my mother said, no, you're just going through... Puberty. Puberty. It involves the pubis.
You need an echo when you say that word.
Puberty. I said, well, not just my kneepies, Mom. Look at my... One of these days when we're feeling really silly on this radio show, we got to do a whole segment on words that just sound silly.
Well, puberty is up there.
Puberty would be up there, yes.
Puberty.
Okay.
Hey, Pubert.
All right, Ant.
Yeah.
So we got some clips from the educational film.
And which one is this now?
Being a girl.
Being a girl. Being a girl. Is it?
This is the men's. All right. And do you have the description as the mom explains to the daughter how to put the porch swing together? All right, perfect. Let's start with the first clip.
The girl is very, she's, I guess, supposed to be 12.
Probably.
And she's the girl that isn't as developed a 12-year-old as her friend is.
Yeah.
So her mother is now telling her, because actually it started out where she's talking to her mother how she wants to wear this pretty dress. And the mother goes, you can't wear that. And then she goes, well, my friend can wear this dress. She's worn it. And she goes, no, your friend is a little more developed than you are.
Oh.
So she has to tell her girls develop at a different age. And then she figured she'd start to tell her about menstruation.
You know, it must suck to be a girl where, like, your friends, they get the boobies first, and then your mom sits you down and tells you, don't worry, you'll get the boobies. There are some girls out there that never get the boobies.
Never get the boobies.
What are they thinking?
There are guys that have to go in, like, the locker rooms at the junior high or whatever it is, and they got the little pipsqueak, the little clamshell yam bag with not a hair on it. And then there's, you know, angry Big Jim Slade in the corner with, the big bush and an anaconda. You know, and that poor kid's got to sit there. With what amounts to a baby's binky.
I was hung like an acorn in high school. No problem admitting it.
I didn't.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what he's saying. I was on like 5 sports teams. It was ridiculous.
I developed pretty much the norm, the average age, everything. But I wouldn't shower. I found that a little gay to be showering in school. It's not like you're playing goddamn football for the NFL. You're going out after the game to a party or something. I'm going home. I got to shower there. You know what I mean?
Besides, you don't want to show off your sensitive neeps.
I'm not showing off my neepies. No, that was a little earlier. That was like, I
swear,
you
have little
11
buds
or 12. It was like, I'll explain exactly what it was like. It was like just beneath the actual neepy area. There were, each one had a very defined, hard, like lumpy thing right underneath the surface. And it was the glands forming.
Were you being felt up too much in high school there?
No, here's me
during
explaining.
Square dancing?
Here's me explaining, or my mother explaining.
Mama, I want ninny.
No. I didn't want ninny, Mama. I don't want my ninny.
You must have looked ridiculous.
No, you couldn't see that. Let me explain something to you, my friends. It was not visual at all. You could barely feel them. But it hurt like they were sensitive. And it was like, there.
Who had bigger neeps back then, you or the 13-year-old girls?
The 13-year-old girls. Like I said, and I will continue to say, there was nothing you couldn't see. There was no protuberance whatsoever.
And I'm sure the listeners have heard you, Anthony.
But if I press...
And they will recite that back to you during What Did We Learn Tonight?
If I pressed, and within weeks, it was gone. It was gone. They are not still there. It was just below the surface, and that was it. That's all. No, Alex, I cannot shoot milk. It was called going through puberty.
My neeps didn't hurt during that time.
Opie, many men develop in different ways.
I didn't run to my mom and say, I think I have breast cancer.
Opie, people develop in different ways. Some people might have sensitive neepies. Others don't, but yet develop into men down in the waist while they're 18. You might look like a baby's binky in the shower.
Your neepies hurt.
It might look like a hairless little clamshell yam bag.
All right. Very good. Well, you know what? Now we have to take a break, but our listeners will kill us.
They're going to kill us.
We got to at least play a few clips before we go to break here. So we got some clips from Being a Girl. What's the first clip about? Being a girl, of course. Let's go.
Being a girl.
Feeling icky?
Icky? All right. You know
what is it, Opie?
God damn it, I knew it was
Opie?
A.
It's A.
Who switched it to B? It's always A. It's always A.
Did someone switch it to B?
Someone switched A to B.
Okay, is that what we're going with?
Because we were using the same pot, the B Metro pot, earlier.
So what are you saying officially?
Officially, it was B, and it was supposed to be A. Everyone knows it's A at this point.
I love when you make it official.
We've been on in Albany 6 days. Even they know it's A.
It's always A.
It's always effing A.
But someone switched it to B.
For whatever reason.
Okay. Thanks.
A clip from Being a Girl. I think they do that just to annoy me, so I go through the speech 3 times a week. Go ahead.
Oh, darling, that reminds me. I bought some flowers for tonight. Would you arrange them for me before the guests arrive? You do it so well.
Mom, will it be okay if I take my bath first? I feel kind of icky.
Oh, sure, darling. Are you still menstruating?
A little. Did you buy the sanitary napkins for me today?
Mm-hmm. They're on your bed. Now, you just go take a nice bath, and you can fix the flowers later.
All right, thanks.
Get that stink off you, bitch.
If she's feeling icky, maybe a shower.
I'm going to take a bath. I'm going to sit here like I'm sitting in tomato soup. Take a bath. I feel, icky.
Now
I'm on the rag, riding the cotton pony, Mommy.
Now the bathtub looks like Lipton tea.
Oh, God. Take a bath. Yes, your pads are right up on your bed. She just heaves them on the bed. There you go.
Why does the audio suck so bad?
I'd better change the sheets.
It was horrible. All right, let's see.
It is a little odd.
It's not much clearer in the back office.
Yeah. A little crackly.
All right, let's try another clip from Being a Girl.
All right,
Did you see that dress at the teen shop?
What dress?
The one that was pale yellow with flowers across here and a sash in the back?
Oh, I know the one.
Oh, Mom, could I have it?
Here it is.
Libby, where would you wear a dress like that?
I'm as old as Jean, and she wears clothes like that.
Oh, come here, Libby. Jean is more developed than you are, dear. You still have your little girl looks and shape.
I know, but we're the same age.
But you're 2 different people. Some girls grow up sooner than others. Some not till they're 15 or 16.
Some not till they're 15 or 16.
And some
bum the kid out.
And some never get big neepies.
Neepy.
Before you know it, a most important thing will happen.
What's that?
You'll begin to menstruate. Do you know what that means?
It means you can have a baby.
That's right. So your body prepares for it.
What do you mean?
Well, your body makes a warm, soft place out of blood and tissue for a baby to grow. And when there is no baby, the body gets rid of this blood and tissue through the lower part of the body.
That's menstruating?
Uh-huh. And once it starts, it'll happen every month.
Never
for
ends.
a period of a few days. That's why it's sometimes also called the period.
Right.
I don't know if I'll like it.
No, you won't.
Oh, why, Libby, you said you couldn't wait to grow up.
It's called the woman's nightmare. And believe me, the men are going to want to find that soft, warm place. It's a soft, warm place, all right. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Libby.
Oh, Libby.
It starts and it goes forever and ever until you dry up like a prune, like your mother. Oh, isn't that great?
Yeah, one more before break.
Still the same mother-daughter team here?
Yeah.
Libby.
Come on, let me show you.
A clip from Being a Girl.
Yeah.
Come on, let me show you something.
I know, sanitary napkins.
Go ahead and open them.
I've seen them in my magazine.
Would you like to learn how to use them?
I gotta explain.
Yeah.
The box is as big as a Nike sneakers box.
Huge.
Huge, just laying on the bed.
It says Modest on them. And they're just these giant. She brings out these giant pads.
This is the what we described earlier as the porch swing.
Yeah, and then she brings the belt out and shows how it goes together.
And it looks just like a porch swing.
Yeah.
Guess I'd better.
All right. You'll need this sanitary belt, too, to hold them in place. It goes around your waist under your panties.
Yeah.
Then you put the short end of the napkin through the front fastener.
The front what?
And the longer end through the fastener in the back. See?
But won't it leak through?
No. The napkin absorbs the menstrual flow.
Napkin? Napkin. The pillow. It's not a Yeah, why do they call it a napkin? It's a pillow. It's exactly, it looked like one of those airplane pillows they give you.
You can't put your head on a napkin at night to get a good night's rest.
It's a napkin. Yeah, like a neck brace for when people have whiplash. You slap that on the back of your head.
All right, we have more clips, but we definitely have to take a break.
Unbelievable. That's right, darling. It looks like diarrhea coming out of your...
And don't worry if it looks like salsa.
Once you get hair around your... the cliffs might catch them and hurt. But it won't hurt as much as having your first big... Ah, great.
Jared?
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
His name is Jared.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, John wants to know if you got your period right after the nip thing.
Shut up, you tool.
Hey, it's John, not me.
I did not.
Go ahead, Jared.
It's John, actually, from Cleveland.
Oh, sorry, bro.
I have a daughter who's like 8 years old. How does a single parent, as a father, go about explaining this to their kids?
Uh-oh, dude.
You gotta have a sister.
Do you have a sister?
Yeah, I have a sister.
Yeah, have her aunt do it. You got to be ridiculous. You'll sound ridiculous. You can't be doing that.
It's like going down the aisle. What side do you buy them, you know?
Yeah, you gotta tell your sister to take one for the team.
Yeah. Well, I hope she does it.
All right, man. Hey, thanks for the support in Cleveland.
All right, you guys rock.
All right, cool.
And a man in my position can't afford to be made to look ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Here comes the ready and now. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready and now. You like me now, I say. Here comes the ready and now. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready and now. How you like me now, I say.
POD, boom. We're having a lot of fun today. It's the Opie and Anthony Show. Thanks for checking us out. Don't forget, Whip 'em Out Wednesday tomorrow. To be in it, you need that WOW sticker on your car. Or a homemade WOW sign for those cities that don't have the bumper stickers. Roy, need a bumper sticker in the New York area. Self-addressed stamped envelope, 888 7th Avenue, New York, New York, 10106, all right?
Opie, you were in a fraternity, were you not?
Phi Sig, baby.
There you go.
Geneseo.
Well, this doesn't sound any different than any of the frat parties I've heard discussed by fraternity members. From Winston-Salem, North Carolina, members of Wake Forest University fraternity were charged with animal cruelty and abandonment after a drunk, dehydrated, and sunburned pig was found unconscious in a park. Ha ha! Ha ha! Ha ha! The 23 members of Sigma Phi Epsilon,
the Sig Eps?
Yeah, could be sentenced to 90 days in jail if convicted of animal cruelty. Animal control officers were called in when they found a 200-pound pig in the woods by a couple walking their dog.
I wonder if she was part of the Arethusa sorority, Anthony.
Oh, local reference?
That made a lot of people in Geneseo laugh uncontrollably. Is she a sorority girl?
I don't know. It just says the pig had been abused, was unable to stand, and the animal was drunk. Ha ha! The pig reeked of alcohol. It could have easily died. I don't understand how someone could think it would be so fun to abuse a pig. The dehydrated pig had been burnt at one of the parties and drunk and was then just tossed to the wayside outside of...
I guess you won't be going to classes anytime soon.
I guess not. Once again, another pig abused by fraternity.
Is this a... Now, all kidding aside, because I don't know, is it an animal or is it a sorority girl?
That is the only goddamn reason I even read this, is because it really doesn't make clear if it was an animal or just maybe a girl that wouldn't be voted a beauty queen. Because a lot of times the frats go what they call pigging or hogging, right?
You don't have to be in a frat to do that.
I've heard of it. Frat guys are pretty abusive with the girls.
Well, it is a badge of honor, Anthony, to go pigging. And to find the fattest.
Oh, hogging, right? All right.
The fattest chick in the... Oh, man.
Someone told a story about you in a bar, wrapped around this big broad. You were so drunk that you don't remember anything until you woke up, had a moment of clarity, and said, what am I doing with this big
Hold on.
What?
I was just thinking that story in my head. I thought I never told that story on the air.
Oh, no.
I told that once?
Me, with the nippy story, never told on air. That one, I don't know if you told it on the air, but you told me.
I was in the Rathskeller in Geneseo.
Right.
It's no longer around. It was, the Rathskeller bar. It was actually in the basement of one of the dorms.
Yeah. Common thing in the...
That's where I met young Buzzy. Who was peddling drugs.
He was peddling his drugs.
No, he was peddling bootleg Bruce Springsteen videos back then.
And Opie wanted to be cool.
That's right.
And not a square.
That's right. I got so hammered. This is a true story.
Were you on a one-way trip to Kicksville?
I was getting my kicks, all right.
Kicksville.
I was just a freshman. And
just an innocent freshman.
And I got wrecked.
Yeah.
Blind drunk. And I was making out with this chick. And I guess I was making out in front of her.
Making out.
Well, it was making out.
Of course it was.
Like Brewer says, you want to make out? You know, making out.
Of course.
Get a little older, you don't make out as much.
You make out.
You get right to the goods. Screw that make out crap.
Make in.
I got video games to play.
Make in with my...
I'll give you a couple of kisses, but come on.
Right, there you go. Make in.
I'm playing Hot Shots 2 here. 3, whatever it is. All right, anyway, so, I was blind drunk. Hammered, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I was making out with this girl. And I guess I was starting to sober up as the night went on.
Uh-huh.
And I'm starting to realize that a lot of people are looking at me.
They're just staring at you.
Staring. And in my mind at the time, I'm thinking I have the hottest chick in the Rathskeller.
What to do? What to do? You thought you did.
And my arms, I thought, were around her.
He thought his arms were around her.
And I'm getting a little more sober, and I'm realizing they are openly laughing at me. I'm like,
openly laughing indeed.
Make a long story short,
yeah.
It took me a long time to realize, but I was making out with a girl that had to be close to 400 pounds, and I could not. And I could not get my arms around her. What I thought was, I thought my arms were holding a real skinny chick. It turned out that my arms weren't even getting around to her back.
Wow. Quite fat indeed. You're one cool cat.
Yeah, cool, all right.
That's great.
We'll get back to the being a girl.
Yeah, come on.
Audio clips.
Being a girl. Little 12-year-old Libby on this fine film from the 60s, I guess.
Yeah, this is...
maybe early 60s.
This is one of our favorite things we've hit on over the years, these educational films.
Yeah, I've had the collection at my house for a while, and we've dug up some more for today. This is little Libby and Libby's mommy talking about Libby growing into a woman.
And on a future episode of the Opie and Anthony Show...
Yeah.
The educational film, Beware of the Homos.
Beware of the Homos, the Navy film.
That's right.
Ow.
All right, here's another clip with Libby. Is the daughter?
Libby's the daughter. Hey, Libby, you're menstruating.
Okay, Libby and her mom.
And Libby, see this blue polyethylene on the bottom
of
and
the napkin.
side? Uh-huh. That's a special moisture-proof shield to prevent accidents. Besides, you should change to a fresh napkin every 3 or 4 hours.
What do I do with the one I take off?
No. You wrap it in toilet tissue or a paper towel and throw it in the wastebasket.
Well, Libby, you rub it in your brother's face.
It's just so rough being a chick.
You chicks have to change your pillow every 3 or 4 hours?
Oh, my God. Your pillow.
Well, these weren't napkins. These things were
were the big, yeah.
Like Rick said, the collars you have to wear after getting a little whiplash in a little traffic accident.
You hear how she was talking about the polyethylene barrier? It's made from a space-age polymer. Got the big pillow with the big belt, and she's just showing the daughter how it fits on the belt, and then she holds it up, and it looks like a porch swing. It's just gigantic. Ridiculously gigantic, bulky thing.
Libby, you look ridiculous.
Libby, you can't afford to be looking ridiculous. Libby.
All right, here's another clip. Being the girl.
But, Mom, suppose it happens at school or someplace where I don't have this.
You look in the restroom. If there's not a napkin dispenser there, you ask the nurse or a teacher. Oh, and Libby, I bought you this. It's a special sanitary panty you might want to try instead of the belt. The napkin fits right inside.
Oh.
You might find it more comfortable than the belt. The elastic loops hold the napkin in place.
Huh? What?
Gee, Mom, they look just like my regular panties. Gee, thanks. Wow, we sure had some important talk.
Wow, I'll say we did.
Wow. Whip them out Wednesday.
That's
wow,
right.
I say we did.
Wow.
That's one important talk I'll never forget. It'll affect me mentally forever, Mom. Oh, Libby. I've completely turned off to sex at any capacity, Mom. That's fine, Libby. When your father's hammering his hard into the warm, moist place made of blood and tissue. That is the most horrid little speech about menstruation. Now, I guess the next clips we have is after Lil Libby actually gets it. The film shows Libby sitting on a chair. She's playing her guitar.
Is that the next clip? No, this is the pool scene, right? Yeah, with her friend.
Pool? I thought that was after.
No.
Oh, she hadn't had it yet. Look at me, chronologically retarded.
And now she's got some news for her friend.
Some info. Now she's going to the friend who already has it.
Right.
And another girl comes over who also knows what the curse is all about.
All right, here we go.
Oh, how long? About a year. Do you? Do I what? Menstruate. Of course, Billy. How come you never told me? I don't know. I always felt it was kind of personal. And besides, it's nothing special. It happens to every girl. What happens to every girl? Womanhood. Oh, you mean the curse. What do you call it? The curse. You know, being unwell. Why do you call it that? I don't know. Some people do. Hey, come on. Let's go swimming. No. You go. We'll be in later. Okay, bye-bye. Bye. See you. Bye.
I don't want to be swimming in that pool.
Oh, it's all gooey.
Yes. Yes, Butters. The curse.
You know, being unwell.
Sounds like what, diphtheria? What the hell do you got?
You know, the curse, being unwell. I'm unwell. Go away. It's made of blood and tissue. You're unwell with the curse.
Wow. That is classic stuff, man.
Now do we go to Libby and the mom again?
And she's got a built-in flotation device when she jumps in the pool.
Oh, forget it. The pool level go down 2 feet when it absorbs into that thing.
Kind of like those old commercials.
Yeah. How awful is that? Just got to go in the pool with that big thing. Ugh, it's like riding one of those blow-up toys. You put a horse head on it. Here's one with a blow-up horse head for when you go to the pool. That way they won't know you're unwell. You're unwell. Us guys don't have anything to be unwell about during that time.
Yeah,
except for the fact you want to just hump everything like a chihuahua. But I'm unwell. All right, here's the mother back. She's playing the guitar. And it says next summer, it says next summer.
If you're driving right now and you're speeding, slow down like 5 miles.
Yeah, you might want
to. Slow down about 5 to 10 miles because you might run off the road when you hear this one.
Here it goes.
Guess what, Mom?
You're menstruating.
How did you know?
I can smell it.
Oh, I expected it.
How do you feel? All right, I guess.
You don't seem, quite as bubbly as usual.
Bubbly?
Are you sure you feel like bowling?
I'm all right.
Well, you're right. I guess there's no need to mope around just because you're menstruating. But don't overdo.
Okay, I won't.
Mom, how'd you know?
How'd you know? We had to throw away the couch. You're menstruating. She knows. Just be careful. Don't overdo it. And don't get around any cats, whatever you do. They'll lunge at your little... What an awful way. The little pause was great because she's sitting in the chair.
Playing her guitar.
Playing a guitar. The mother walks in and she just goes, Mom, guess what? And the mother looks. There's a long, dramatic pause. She looks with the look in her face like, my little girl is growing up. And then she just smiles because she doesn't want to. There's nothing bad going on. You're menstruating. Just play that quick part again.
Guess what, Mom?
You're menstruating.
She lost her little girl right there. Right there. You're menstruating. How did you know? The trail from the kitchen to the couch. Oh, my God. I went up to your bedroom. It looks like the Battle of the Bulge was fought up there. What happened? Of course I know. Looks like your sister fell in a Cuisinart. Of course you're menstruating. I saw the tissue. Of course you're menstruating. It smelled like it we were at Coney Island, but we hadn't lived there in years. Of course. Isn't a beach within 100 miles of here. Oh, God. Here, take this Nike box of pillows upstairs and strap one on. That is some great stuff.
We got more, I think.
Oh, God, Rick. No. You're menstruating indeed. You're quite the cool cat.
Oh, boy. How many more we got? Oh, let's keep
Cool.
going,
I
man.
love these.
More clips from Being a Girl.
Cringe education. People calling it.
You'll understand better if you know something about how you got to be a girl. So let's begin by examining the facts of birth.
We should explain. I think it's obvious to everyone. This is a whole different film.
Oh, it is? Little Libby's gone?
I think that's it. Same film, but now it's in the classroom with the health education.
Yeah, right?
Now, actually, each of you began life about 9 months before you were born as a microscopic living organism, a single cell that resulted from the joining together of two other cells, one from your mother and one from your father. This little cell found a safe shelter in your mother's body, in a soft, blood-rich organ called the uterus.
Blood-rich. That sounds lovely. What happened in Buffalo? They dumped out of Buffalo? What? They're not hearing this in Buffalo? Went to commercials with that clip playing in the background, then commercials stopped and the clip was over. What the F? All we're getting is commercials. Buffalo is dumping out. The dickheads in Buffalo just played damn promo over the talk. What's going on in Buffalo? Stop it. Come on, they play this crap in schools. They better not be having a problem with this in Buffalo.
Oh, and we're getting along so well with Buffalo.
Yeah.
Trust me, if we have to dump out of this stuff, we got the guy.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass.
Don't worry about it.
If he's not dumping out, it's okay.
Tell Ben or someone to get on the line with Buffalo and see if the problem is, like, with them technically or what have you. All right, blood-rich organ, great. Anything else that's entertaining? I don't like the teacher talk. What, you got something, Ray? Yeah.
All the descriptions of the body.
All right, let's hear.
Of course, you still have your little girl looks, but not for long.
Not for
You
long.
are approaching adolescence.
Adolescent.
A gland called the pituitary begins to encourage different parts of your body to turn into that of a woman. Little by little, each one of you growing differently in height, weight, and bone structure. Your breasts will begin to develop, getting rounder and fuller.
Hopefully.
Your hips will fill out, taking on softer, more womanly contours.
Ooh.
And a soft growth of hair will appear under your arms and in the pubic area.
Is that supposed to be
Your
sexy?
body will awaken internally.
Awaken.
And those organs that make you uniquely a girl will begin to develop too.
Nice. Release the Kraken. Doesn't it sound like that? They would unleash a beast upon the earth.
She made it sound like every woman's going to be a supermodel.
I know. Like you come out of a pupa phase. Crack open your old shell.
Have big cans and hips.
Right. Sometimes it don't happen, lady. Look at Stalker Patty.
Sometimes you get the huge hips and no cans.
Stalker Patty's 45 years old. She still has that body of a 12-year-old that they're talking about. You're like, when am I getting my hips and round breasts? Hi, teacher, it didn't happen. I haven't had it. Where's my womanly beauty I'm supposed to have? Get the body of an ant. Hi, my name is Stalker Libby. I have the body of Libby. Patty, you're menstruating. Yeah. How did you know? I saw the dust. Oh, Buffalo's on the phone?
Yeah, what's going on?
What's going on over there?
Is this the Godfather?
Hey, Buffalo's on the phone, man. What the hell's the matter with you guys, man? We ain't cutting out of nothing.
Well, we got a bunch of...
it was just an accidental trip. I don't know, something tripped the pot and it went off. That's 30 seconds later.
Well, you just said the S word.
I like to say the S word.
Well, you're on the air.
Bleep it.
You can't.
Bleep it.
We just did there, Buffalo.
Yeah, everything's cool in Buffalo, all right?
All right.
All right.
We're just getting to the bottom of it. We're not sure if you spilled a Labatt's on the board or something.
No, I didn't spill no Labatt's on the board. I drink Budweiser, my friend.
You love that Labatt's up there.
No, I drink Budweiser.
All right.
Yeah, no, everything's cool, man. Just something just got tripped accidentally.
Well, we were getting a little scared because we got a nice relationship going.
You ain't got nothing to worry about down here. We don't bleep S.
All right, cool.
All right,
man. Thank you, Buff.
All right, baby.
There goes Buffalo.
All right, baby.
Buffalo represented the Opie and Anthony show last night. Huge during WWF Raw, by the way. Tons of O&A wow signs.
Yeah.
All over the tube last night. 2 more clips. Okay.
There are 2 ovaries, 2 narrow passageways called the fallopian tubes,
and the Lincoln Tunnel.
Uterus. And they're all surprisingly small. The uterus, not more than the size of a pear.
Fast forward.
The ovaries, not more than the size of walnuts.
Look at mine. It's fallen out.
Then there's the vagina.
Ooh.
The passage from the uterus to the outside of your body.
Gold! That's what they call gold! We struck us gold! Screw what's going on inside. We just like that last section she was chatting about. There's gold in there! Isn't that sick?
Who needs to see the whole Holland Tunnel?
No.
Just want to make sure it has a nice entrance.
Just the entrance has to be nice. The toll plaza.
You just assume the rest is nice.
The rest is nice. You know, I ain't got to describe it or see it. I know it's functional.
Look at the beginning of the Holland Tunnel. It's all decorated nice.
It's all it gets you to and from.
There's an easy pass lane right there.
Sometimes you get in there and there's tiles falling off the walls, but you don't care.
You don't care because the entranceway looks nice.
Sometimes you ever driving through and it's leaking on you? And they're like, where the hell's that coming from? The tunnel open. Yeah. And you don't have to know. It's just serving its purpose.
It doesn't matter because you saw the nice entranceway.
Right. It made me feel good that the entranceway looked nice.
Made me feel safe.
Right.
That I was going into a nice place. All right.
There you
go.
Clip. Last clip. And more of the teacher. All right.
As you approach your womanhood, these organs begin to function. And your very first menstrual cycle begins.
Yay.
The ovaries release an ovum. A single egg cell
which finds its way into one of the fallopian tubes. Very slowly, this little egg cell
Like Earl.
travels through this tube toward the uterus. But before it gets there, the uterus prepares for it, builds up a special lining of blood and tissue, so that this little egg cell can grow into a baby if it were fertilized by a male cell.
Perish the thought.
Sometimes, as in my case, the man you're with doesn't want it, and he'll punch you in the stomach repeatedly to dislodge this tissue.
Yeesh.
All right.
Get the pill in there. Get an IUD in there or something.
Sometimes a condom is used. It can be rolled on with the mouth. If you're a pro.
Yeah, look at Rick. Look at Rick go with his sick mind.
Sometimes they'll finish in your A, like Meg, who's now dead. Wow, good callback.
Even though a nice place is prepared in the front, that's not good enough for some of the boys. Sometimes people don't want babies, so they'll plow the into a hot steaming batch of is fired there, safely away from any danger of making a little bambino. But you can just clinch and walk to the fertility clinic, where an unscrupulous doctor will take a turkey baster, suck it out, and put it in and make you pregnant.
I love it. Great stuff.
Yeah, we'll have more. We do this from time to time.
I can't wait for a homo Navy, though.
Beware the homos.
Beware the homos.
Yeah.
Navy clip.
And other ones on the way.
I'd say this show is like a trip to Kicksville today.
We're not being squares.
Don't be a square.
We're in the middle of Kicksville.
Don't be a square. It's the worst thing that can happen. This is the Opie and Anthony Show. Yeah. We have one more clip.
That's right, Libby.
We have one more clip from the educational films we were watching in the back room today, Anthony.
Oh, yeah.
We just had Libby and her mom talking about menstruation. We forgot.
Right.
We found one more clip of Libby and her mom. The lost clip. The lost clip? So, Rick, why don't we play that clip right now? Here we go.
Libby, now that you're a woman or growing into one, you're going to have to learn to keep your man with your new womanly organs and ways. Sometimes a man might want a little something extra than just straight normal sex. You know, sometimes he wants to bury his deep in your... And you have to comply to keep your man, or he might run off with the secretary like your dad did. You know, it's not fun all the time being a woman and having to take his cheesy in your mouth and hold him there until he all over your face. But it's just another part of being a woman. You know, drunk whiskey breath in your face as he shoves a nightstick in your... and beats you senselessly. It's all part of growing into a wonderful woman here in the 50s. Occasionally, he might want to invite his friends over to watch you the dog. Sure, you don't want to do these things, but you need a man because women are useless here in the 50s. Sometimes he finds films from various European countries and wants to try them out, like taking a fistful of lard and just slamming it in. Yes, it hurts, Libby. But you'll keep your man. And always remember, swallow the... Never spit. Always swallow the... Spitters are quitters, Libby. Bitters are quitters. Some girls don't get the big breasts. They go to doctors and get implants and work at strip clubs where daddy goes to spend all his money in the champagne room getting jobs. That's okay as long as he doesn't bring home diseases. But he always seems to leave for the secretary, doesn't he? Just remember all this, Livy, is part of being a woman in the 50s. A fist in the face and a big in your... At least he doesn't have to watch you cry as your face is buried in the pillow, Livy. Tell your friends about this. You'll have to learn how to give during your... Wasn't sure if I'd get away with saying it in this context. When a woman's time comes every month, she has to expel certain blood and tissue. At this time, her can't be used for that. So you'll have to learn how to suck like a champ. Okay, Libby, stop crying now and pulling your hair out in clumps and learn how to be a woman. During the time of expelling this tissue, a man may have to learn to earn his Red Wings, or what we call crime scene sex. Your little bed's gonna look like Iwo Jima. I remember the first time your father wanted to have sex with me during that time. Well, let's just say the bed looked like Omaha Beach on D-Day. That's when you have to learn how to either roll over or take a shot to the face, Libby. And then there's threesomes, Libby. Threesomes are fun, 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 Libby. Just don't let photographers catch you on the steps of the court. Libby, put your goddamn clothes back on. I hope that helps you, Libby. Now go to the pool and tell your rag little friends. Well, that was a long clip, Rick. That was the lost clip, Opie.
Ah, yeah. Being a woman in the 50s.
Right.
Sounds tough.
Thank God things have changed.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Kathy, what's up?
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Listen, I have 3 kids, 2 of which are daughters, 8 and 5, and let me tell you, when it comes time for me to explain this whole thing to them, the only thing I'm going to be able to have in my mind is this bit you guys did, and they are not going to take me serious at all.
No?
No.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I like the old learn it on the streets method. It seems to work the best.
I grew up in a house of 5 girls, plus my mother, and let me tell you, my mother never sat us down and told us anything even related to that tape. We all learned from each other.
All right. Thank you, Kathy.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Let them learn, let them learn out at Hunts Point when they did the hooker special.
Ramona. What's up, Ramona?
Ramona. I just wanted to thank both of you for the sex education I never got at home. Thank you so much. I don't think I would have gotten better if I even was up at Hunts Point.
Well, that last clip was pretty much the most accurate one we've heard so far.
Well, see, I'm having problems too, my man. Any clue? Because most of it was beeped out. I mean, it's always worth a shot.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. There goes Ramona. All right. Girls made to show underwear at school dance, Anthony. This is going to be a big story tomorrow. L.A. angry parents demanded the resignation of a California high school vice principal Tuesday because she lifted the skirts of teenage girls at a dance in front of men and male classmates to make sure they were wearing appropriate underwear.
So she lifts it to make sure it's appropriate? What's appropriate?
I think she was looking for thongs.
She didn't want thongs? Or...
Let's read on here. Parents at Rancho High School in suburban San Diego say the vice principal, Rita Wilson.
Rita Wilson?
That's
Tom Hanks' wife is lifting up skirts, or is it just a similar name?
Made the girls prove that they were not wearing thong underwear before they were allowed into the dance on Friday. They had a lineup, and she lifted all their skirts up in front of everyone.
In front of everyone?
This stuff is in the paper all the time. It just
amazes now. Now it's kind of hot.
In some cases, said Rancho Bernardo parent Kim Teal, girls also were made to partially undress if Wilson or another teacher suspected that they weren't wearing bras.
Wow. Who comes up with these ideas and thinks it's going to just be fine? Like, this will be a great thing. We'll just get the girls online, make them undress, lift their skirts up. And, boy, the parents are going to love this because we're making sure they're wearing the right panties.
The right panties.
No, people are going to freak out, and you're going to get fired.
These girls feel violated.
Of course they do.
Said Teal, whose daughter Rebecca, a sophomore, was asked about her underwear but escaped a search after telling Wilson that she was not wearing a thong. One girl just cried after having to tell her father this story. She was hiding her head in a sweatshirt.
I hear that was little Libby because as she lifted the skirt, she was wearing that big, ridiculous belt.
The
porch swing.
The porch swing. She was checking for porch swings.
Porch swings.
After a while, the girls finally got the idea that they shouldn't say thong when they were asked. And it goes on.
Oh, because they said, what are you wearing? And she said thong, and then they'd look?
Yeah.
It sounds like Rita was getting a little. Kind of hot.
Teachers also checked several boys who were wearing toga-style costumes. And girls were often asked about their bras. I just got a call from one mom who said her daughter was wearing a poodle skirt and an off-the-shoulder top, and a teacher reached right out and grabbed the front of it and pulled it down to check.
Oof.
Oh, man, these people are screwed.
Totally.
Stupid.
People are so funny, man, with the instant feedback.
What?
And Libby, if you're laying in bed and won't give it up and two guys are next to you, just have them off with each other.
Hold on, it sounds better with the music. Oh, that's a different one.
Yeah, it's track 9, I believe.
Yeah, but it went to 8.
Oh. And remember, Libby, if you're with two men laying in bed named Norton and Voss, and you won't give it up, just have them off and flip a coin. Remember, the loser gets to you. Sex is fun. You know what you're making down there, Libby? Hot soup. Hot soup. Remember, Libby, always wear a hat. All right.